Hello everyone, we're back in Lightroom and this is going to be a very basic edit, but it's all about seeing the final print and understanding what needs to stay and what needs to go and what we need to adjust. So this is the entrance to a ranch in Ridgway, Colorado, which is in between Ouray and Telluride. And we stopped. I just thought it was very interesting, obviously a very sculptural, almost like a piece of art in the field. What can we do to make it better? So let's go through a basic edit and make it happen. So what are the problems? Well, we can't really read the name of the ranch here. So let's go ahead and start by opening up the shadows all the way. All right. Got a little light. The clouds are a little light. Let's bring the highlights way down. We're already a long way there. Let's come down to presence. Presence again is going to add localized contrast and texture. So we'll add some of that. Good. I don't think it needs any, a little dehaze won't hurt it, but let's go ahead and add some vibrance, which notice the vibrance makes the blue in the sky much more intense, which it really was. And saturation will bring up the saturation of everything. So the grasses in the foreground will get a lot more color to them. Looking a heck of a lot better already. Now we need to do a little bit of focusing. So we can see the ranch okay now, but I still think I want to make this a little bit brighter. So let's get a brush. We click on the masking panel and choose brush, or again, the K key. Just hit K and it'll give you a brush. We'll go ahead and click that for now. Let's turn on auto mask and let's zoom in a bit. So I've got my auto mask on. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And since I'm dealing with straight lines here, I'll show you a little trick that makes things a lot easier. I'm going to click once right there. And I've got this post all the way down here. Hold down the shift key in the middle of that and click and it drags in a straight line. Did it get a little sloppy in the sky? Yes, but hold on, we're going to fix that. Now you can do this with the straight line thing, or you can just manually drag across. Since we're on auto mask, it's going to try to stay within the boundaries there. It's going to get a little sloppy on the outside, but again, we're going to fix that. So let's do one more click. And then I'll hold down the shift and drag there. That looks pretty good. Now, in case there's a little bit of spillover into the sky, while we've got our mask, we can subtract and choose select the sky. And anything that is the sky will get subtracted from our selection. Great. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of exposure into that. And there we go. In fact, I think it could use a little more saturation too. Let's add some color into that. Wonderful. Little reflection off of the grasses below. So let's hit enter on that and let's zoom out. What else? Well, obviously we've got too much sky and too much grass. It's overpowering here. And if you look, the height of the grass from the bottom up to the top of the grass is actually physically taller than the entrance to the ranch. So we want this to be the single biggest thing. So let's hit R, which is the crop tool. If you want to stick to a standard size, I have a printer that prints legal size, which is 14 by 8.5. And I think that's probably a perfect shape for that. And look at that. I think it really is. So let's hit enter on that. Now, as we take a couple little final looks here, what else does it need? Well, the grass is kind of bright. Can we darken it up leading to the opening here? So we're going to hit the M key, which is the keyboard shortcut if you go to create new mask for a linear gradient. I'm just going to hit M, and then what it does is gives us the gradient tool. Now again, the way the gradient tool works is it's directional. Whichever way you drag it, that's the angle it's going to go at. And the black square here is going to be 50% power. Red is 150, 0. So it's the effect or the power of the adjustments we make is going to fade from 100 to 50 to 0 along that line. So let's bring the exposure down a little bit, and you can see it's just a gradual thing, and that looks so much better. Now, how about the sky color? Let's hit enter on that. Does the sky need adjustment? Not sure. Let's go to HSL, which is Hue Saturation Luminance. I want to check the hue of the sky. So I click on hue and get this little targeted tool, and if I push up and down, it will change the color of the sky. I think maybe it might need a little bit pushed to the right, just to about there. And I think we're almost done. What else does it need? Well, we want to center the image to the viewer goes there. And the easiest way to do that is subliminally add a vignette. So I'm going to add a vignette to darken those edges fact, I think I'm going to darken them a little bit more. As I see that, this entire area here, I think I want to bring the highlights down again. So I'm going to hit the M key, which again gives me my linear gradient. And I'm going to drag that across there. And we're going to do something very subtle. Let's just bring the highlights down a little bit. And maybe a little bit of exposure. Just a smidge. And I think that's looking pretty good. So I'll hit enter on that. Now I'm going to hit Command or Control apostrophe to create a virtual copy. And then we're going to reset one of them. So you can see there's where we started. Let's go full screen. There's the raw file. The exposure was great. You looked at the histogram. The highlights were saved in the clouds. The shadows weren't too dark. Everything looked great, but we need to reshape it because the camera doesn't capture the way our eyes look. And we took this to here. Now we have this sculptural entrance to the ranch in the field on a beautiful day in southwestern Colorado. So I think that proves that our cameras don't see the way we do, but understand with a little bit of help from Lightroom to reshape, you can get that beautiful image that you imagine hanging on the wall. So just a basic edit using basic tools in Lightroom, but the difference is amazing. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed that. See you again soon. Bye-bye.